Hey, what's going on? Anna Malimon here. Today, I want to talk to you about retaining information. Yes, we're getting so much information all over the place. How in the world do you retain that information? And so, I'm going to give you a little bit of the details and some tips that I've been personally using, and I want to share those with you so that you can apply those in your life. So, the very number one thing that I recommend and use is writing it down. So, when you write down information, you're more likely to remember it. I know that we're all a little bit different. So for some, it's visual, but the best way to do it is you can visualize it, you can look at it, you can read about it, but then write it down also. Once you write down that information, put it into use. That's number two. Put it into action. Use it daily. So that way you get more used to it. You get more familiar with it, and you can build up your skill with that. So once you write it down, then use it, apply it in your life. That way you're going to have that information is like in your life really physically. And number three that I would recommend is teach it. So if you don't have someone to teach it to, like you don't have a community just yet, then don't worry about, teaching it to a community. Teach it to your children. If you don't have any children, teach it to your pets. If you don't have any pets, pretend there's someone standing there and teach it. And that way, if you're able to teach it, you know the information well. If you're not able to teach it, that means you need a little bit more information, like retaining that information, reading about it a little more, learning about it a little more. If you can't teach it, you don't know it well enough. And that's where I constantly question myself, and I'm like, am I able to teach this? So then I tell my kids about it. And if I start stumbling and I'm like, I'm like, okay, I'm not at a point where I can teach it yet. So I need to review the information again and then try again. So this is what I personally do. I do have kids. I have three of them. So I teach to them whatever I'm learning. So that way I'm practicing it in real life. And you know what? Whenever I'm trying to teach them something new I've learned, some information, um, and if I start stumbling and I'm like, wait a second, I don't really know this information well enough to teach it, and then I try again and again, and that I use that as a test guide all the time, and it works really well. So these are my recommendations for you. So once again, number one, write it down. Number two, put it into action, and number three, teach it. And I hope that this will help you retain more information better, faster, and so that you can see real results from the information that you are learning. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in another video. Stay awesome.